Hello, I'm Veronica Dudo. Police and fire officials rescued 46 dogs from dangerous smoke conditions at a kennel in Fairfield. The pet boarding facility was filled with smoke caused by a fire at a neighboring business. All of the dogs were checked out by veterinarian professionals. A Mattawan man has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing his father and hiding the body in the basement in 2022. 33-year-old Joseph Knapp pleaded guilty earlier this year. He must serve 85% of his sentence before becoming eligible for parole. A former rabbi who was serving a life sentence for the murder of his wife has died. Fred Newlander had killed his wife in Cherry Hill back in November of 1994. The 82-year-old died while being housed at the infirmary unit at the New Jersey State Prison. Jersey Avenue near Greenwich Village has been transformed into the 1960s for the upcoming film A Complete Unknown. The biopic follows musician Bob Dylan's beginnings as a folk singer. Antique cars, signage, and even the trash on the ground were all from that period.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Mike Favetta. On this Thursday, we have a big chill waking up across New Jersey with temperatures around freezing across most of the state. Even southern parts of New Jersey starting to warm through the 40s, but other areas, specifically northern parts of New Jersey, had freeze warnings posted overnight. That's the bright shade of pink and purple you see there up there toward Sussex and western Bergen County. All of this area shaded in pink is a freeze watch. Right down toward the coast, even in Monmouth and Ocean counties, and down toward Atlantic County for some freezing weather overnight. Now, why doesn't this extend further north up the Hudson Valley? Well, that's because the growing season has begun in New Jersey. We had temperatures in the 70s and even near 80 degrees earlier this week. So as the clear sky takes over today, we will see warming yet again. Any showers you see stay down to our south. Over the next few days, not expected to see much rain, at least until Saturday night. There could be a few more showers. We'll talk more about that with the weekend weather. But beyond that, enjoy the sunny weather today with the clear sky lasting all throughout the afternoon and highs that will return to normal back into the 60s. There's that freezing line snaking its way through the Kittatinny Mountains up there in Sussex County, showing you where all of that chilly weather is, but the rest of the state sees that warming trend into the afternoon. Satellite picture not showing much. It is a clear sky across New Jersey, and with that clearing taking us into the afternoon, any of the clouds from yesterday is the front all the way out to sea, stretching out in the Atlantic. So we stay nice and dry through this afternoon, but again, that cold really settling in. Even at this hour, still 37 degrees up in Sussex, 39 toward Hackensack, right there along Route 80, a little further south out toward Flemington. They're over in Hunterdon County, 40 degrees for you along Route 78, 44 in New Brunswick, and 46 right now, taking it down toward Belmar and Farmingdale. Toward Atlantic City, 47 degrees, and Cape May, 49. So that chilly weather remains even going into this afternoon, with the 30s still appearing there up in Sparta, 37 degrees. So it's a cold start to the day. It stays chilly this week. We'll tell you all about it and what to expect with your next weather update and the weekend forecast, feeling like spring as we hit 80 next week to wrap up April. It's coming up in your next weather update.
Good morning. Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco.
And I'm Mike Favetta. Great to have you with us.
We are live right now because of protests over the Israeli-Palestinian conflict have come to a New Jersey university. Princeton University students have launched a Gaza solidarity encampment at McCosh Courtyard. They say they are protesting in solidarity with the people of Palestine, and some have already been arrested. The students are demanding that the university divest itself from Israel and that Israel immediately end its military campaign in Gaza. Joining us now is host of ONNJ Politics, Laura Jones. Laura, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, good to see you both.
Laura, can you tell us what's happening on campus there?
Yeah, sure. I've been in touch with media relations at Princeton University, and they said that this morning, fewer than 100 people were gathered on campus. A small number began erecting about a half a dozen tents, which is a violation of university policy. They had repeated warnings from the Department of Public Safety to cease activity and to leave the area. They did not. 2 graduate students were arrested for trespassing. At this point, the tents were voluntarily taken down by the protesters. Again, these 2 graduate students, they've been arrested and they've been barred from the campus pending a disciplinary process. This is a very, very fluid situation, Cara and Mike, and there is currently a sit-in demonstration going on right now on campus, but those tents, they have been taken down.
And Laura, it's my understanding, as I'm, reading about this myself, the university's policy is basically that you're welcome to protest and have your free speech, but you cannot block campus buildings and campus property, as it is a safety issue, which you can see was what was initially happening, at least in this video. And so that was the tents and why they've now taken them down. But the students are still present on the yard. On the lawn there. And we've heard about protests at several universities across the U.S., most recently Columbia University. Do you anticipate seeing this spread even further?
Yeah, I think that we are going to see these protests against Israel continue to pop up at more and more colleges in the coming months, because the tensions around Israeli-Palestinian conflicts, they've been simmering and a lot of these campuses, including Princeton. So you've seen students getting actively involved, increasing vocally, getting more organized and voicing their opposition to Israel's policy. It's very complex and it's an evolving situation. But again, based on the momentum that we've seen with these demonstrations so far, I wouldn't be surprised if protests start emerging at other universities, especially when you have ones that have active student activist groups, and Princeton is one such university. A lot, I think, is going to depend on how the university administration responds, how much media attention they are getting, and whether organizers are able to sustain the movement. We're coming up on spring semester being over, students going home for the summertime, right? But again, these underlying issues, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So I think that we absolutely will see this spread to some degree. Definitely worth keeping eyes on in the weeks and months ahead, because these campus movements can take on a life of their own.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the timeline. Interesting how this is the time where reviews and final exams take place as the semester is wrapping up. Usually a very stressful, intense time for students. And this to compound that, I have to ask you, Laura, how are these protests playing in the political world here in New Jersey politics?
Yeah, well, the protests against Israel, they may not be as straightforward as they seem on the surface, because again, you've got students who are activists. They're very passionate in their feelings and their thoughts, but it is also very possible that there are outside influences at play as well. Some of the political observers I've been speaking to have suggested that there could be foreign governments involved, extremist groups, people who are actually looking to stoke those flames and almost co-opt these students, to co-opt their movements, to co-opt their agenda for their own agendas. So again, the concern, these protests are getting amplified and they are getting organized in ways that go beyond the students themselves. I mean, look at those tents that they are setting up on some of these campuses. This isn't just, a few students taking their sleeping bags out there. This looks to be very, very much organized. When it comes to, the political picture, the Biden administration and other political leaders, they've got to tread care. They are treading carefully. They're trying to condemn anti-Semitism and extremism while acknowledging some of the grievances of the protesters. But it's a delicate balance, politically speaking, because you've got an upcoming presidential election and protests that have been coming up against Biden's support of Israel. That is a major liability in his campaign, Michigan, especially when it comes to Michigan, where you have a very large Arab American and Muslim population. That is a crucial swing state. Ultimately, so depending on how he does in Michigan, if he doesn't do well in Michigan, that could cost him a lot in this campaign. So again, he's treading lightly politically. Ultimately, these campus protests, they are complex, they're evolving, and it's generating a lot of political heat. Again, the core issues at the heart of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, those aren't going away. As long as you have students who are passionate about this and willing to take to the streets, it's going to remain a political flashpoint for sure.
And Laura, I think one thing that politicians need to start remembering, because I think in the last few elections, young people have turned out in record numbers. And you're talking about, we're not talking high school students, we're talking college students. They are all of voting age. So this is not a wayside opinion of theirs. This is something that they're going to show up and vote on. What do you think about that? And you know, correct me certainly if I'm wrong about young people turning up for elections more recently.
Right. I think one of the concerns, as again, some of the observers I've been speaking to, is you have students who are definitely very passionate. Universities are supposed to be places where you can have free speech. There is a big difference in free speech. Where your rights begin is where another one begins. So you should be able to have these conversations about Palestine, about Israel, about these conflicts. But the concern is, are there foreign governments? Are there other organizations? Are there people with other agendas that are pushing in, right? At Columbia University, you're supposed to be able to show, you are supposed to show your ID, but there are questions. Are these actually all students who are protesting? Is somebody funding this? Are they influencing, and how are they influencing it, right? At Princeton University, the president has come out, he's talked about this. He took a lot of heat for not banning a book that was very anti-Israel. People came after his administration. They came after him personally. He stood by that on the precipice that free speech. You should be able to have very uncomfortable conversations about things that you disagree with. But there is, I think, a big concern on who is coming into these, who's funding it, what are they saying to the students? How do you separate fact from fiction and propaganda? And that's a big issue. It's a big concern, because when you look back to some of the BLM movements, that was hijacked by Antifa. And other outside groups that really took away from what, certain people thought that they were standing up for civil rights, for marginalized communities, and that got hijacked and really turned into a very dangerous and terrible situation. Where those in law enforcement, were being attacked, buildings being burned. Can this escalate there? There is a lot of concern, and Jewish students are afraid to go to class. I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
That's that's so much a part of it too. I think you bring up the excellent point of where are these kids getting their information from, and I think there's a couple of other factors that play a role when you talk about free speech. But like you said, what is free speech and what is threatening another person or group? And then also, both Princeton University and Columbia University are private institutions versus something like a Rutgers University. Those are taxpayer dollars. You have every right to, anybody can walk on that campus. You pay for it to be there, but not Princeton. You have to be a student or a member. That's a private university, and that I think also reserves them the right to say you can't say that here.
Right. Well, and then you have the balance to strike between law enforcement, where they can go, where they cannot go, right? So at Columbia University, law enforcement said, listen, we can't go onto campus. We will come onto campus if somebody's being hurt, if we get a call, but in general, they can't come onto those campuses without the university saying, come on in, right? And at this point, again, I've been in touch with media relations at Princeton University, their campus security. They are working, Princeton Police Department, they are on alert. They have made some arrests. So but it is interesting to look at where law enforcement can go, what can escalate. And the administration has been in touch. It really does look like Princeton University. Their vice president of campus life, I've got information that was emailed to the students, and also in the Beacon, in the Free Press, the president of Princeton University has come out and he's started to talk about what is acceptable, what is not acceptable.
Laura, do you any other word, and you just kind of went through some of it, anything else from Princeton in terms of how are they going to handle the protest? How are they going to handle these arrested students? Just response to the protest?
Yeah, right. Again, at this point, to recap, there are 2 students who have been arrested. They're graduate students, and those have been barred from being on campus and being in classes until they can have a disciplinary hearing. The vice president of Campus Life sent a message to students Wednesday night detailing the university's approach to the protest. And there was an op-ed by President Eisgruber published overnight in the student newspaper. He says, when it comes to free speech, and I'm reading this now, there is a time, place, and manner, and there are rules on campus. Those rules must be followed. Despite its breadth, Princeton's free speech policy, like the First Amendment to the Constitution, contains exceptions. For example, it prohibits genuine threats and harassment. It also explicitly recognizes the university may reasonably regulate the time, place, and manner of expression to ensure that it does not disrupt the ordinary activities of the university. So he's saying, listen, we've got power that we can say how you organize, how you protest. You can't threaten other students. You cannot disrupt classes. And again, where the way Princeton University is located, you've got the university, and right across the other side of it is shopping, restaurants. People are out
downtown
and about.
Princeton. Yeah.
Right. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Okay. But again, you've got two different, the way the campus operates separately from the public streets operate. But, the president of the university is saying, listen, when it comes to free speech, there are limits. And we are going to ensure that we're protecting our students. At this point, again, to recap, the tents are gone, but there are students sitting in on campus having more of a demonstration right now. But he's saying, listen, I'm not going to tolerate hatefulness on the campus and disruption. And, graduation is coming up. Princeton's university graduation is outside, as many universities across the country have those. And those are going to be starting in a few weeks. I think Princeton usually graduates the first part of June. But like at Columbia, my daughter's up not too far from Columbia University. There's right down the street from Barnard too. And there is a disruption, and it's a shame because you have students who at Columbia at this point who don't feel safe. They're leaving. They don't even want to show up to graduation because you don't know what's going to happen if protesters will show up and try and disrupt that as well. It's sad.
It is, and certainly something to keep an eye on. And Laura, we thank you for your insight and for following up with the university for us, and certainly something we'll keep an eye on for all of you. Laura, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, interesting stuff. And again,
and as the weather gets nicer, Cara, I'm sure these will continue since we've had a lot of rain back in March and April, keeping a lot of people inside. It was cold. Now with the warming, 80 degrees on Monday, I think this is just the beginning as, these protests may escalate.
That's it. That summer heat is going to bring everybody out. All right.
Mm-hmm. Well, up next, how local law enforcement saved 46 dogs from a building fire.
And later, we will speak with the founder of New Jersey's Wine and Food Festival. back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco along with Mike Favetta. Well, Mike, the DEP has launched a new pilot project to provide free bear-resistant trash receptacles because of elevated number of bear incidents.
Yeah, black bears are starting to emerge from their dens this spring and will actively be searching for food. The DEP warns to be careful about leaving trash and other things that bears can associate with food outside. This is important this time of year, especially as these black bears start to work their way into more populated neighborhoods. We're looking for food. Growing up in Hanover Township, anytime there was a bear crossing by, it was like news of the week. You had every cop in town looking for it, keeping the kids away. But it's important because small dogs, little children, could be seen as the prey.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny. I grew up in Kinnelon, New Jersey, a very wooded area. The bears are very common for us. We're all kind of very used to them. But I know my parents will not. My poor mother, the woman is up at like 7 a.m. to run the garbage to the curb because they can't leave it out overnight because the bears will get into it.
Right?
Along with all of the other critters that live there, but the bears particularly. So yeah, definitely something to watch for and be careful of. And yeah, like you said, especially small children, small dogs and pets, just stay inside, leave them alone, let them wander through. Well, over the weekend, officers and firefighters rescued 46 dogs from a building fire. And here to tell us about what happened is Officer Stacy Kiralanza of the Fairfield Police Department. Officer, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, guys.
So tell us, what was the situation this weekend? And if you care to tell us what caused the fire?
Right now, the fire is still under investigation. We have no idea at this point what caused it. We do know it was an adjoining business to the Canine Resorts Hotel. We initially received a 911 call around 9:37 p.m. and simultaneously also received some burglar or fire alarms as well to the building. So a witness that had seen it, they stayed on scene. Our officers arrived, and between the 4 officers and the 2 witnesses, we were able to get into the building by forcing open a few doors and get some of the dogs out before the arrival of the volunteer fire department.
Interesting. So, officer, how do you guys prioritize a scene like that? Obviously you're looking at it. It's clearly a kennel. There's multiple animals and possibly people inside. Is it just how do I get in there, or is there a system to it?
Yeah, obviously we knew the other buildings were all closed, so that was helpful, but we did know that there was dogs that were housed in the canine resorts. So in our patrol cars, we carry all kinds of tools. We carry Halligan bars, we carry entrenching tools, we carry things that will break through doors if we need them to. We have all that stuff right at our hands, so we don't have to wait for the fire department. And so our officers used that stuff to get in through a couple of the doors that were like magnetic key locked, for example, not just a standard key. And honestly, it's a matter of minutes when it came down to that. The smoke was very, very heavy in that building at the time. And even though our fire department got there very quickly, just even getting out a few of those dogs prior to that was a huge help.
Wow, it sounds like time was of the essence, as that fire was underway. So what's the current status of the dogs? Have they all gone back to their owners?
So some of the dogs went home to their owners that evening or the next day after they were checked out by a local veterinarian just to make sure that they were all okay. And then the Canine Resorts has a second location in Bergen County, New Jersey. So if people were away on vacation and couldn't get back in time, they were just taken there for now.
Excellent. Good. And officer, were any of the other businesses in the area impacted? The building? I imagine there's at least smoke damage. You said it was a pretty smoky situation.
Yeah, the Canine Resorts is still closed because of the smoke damage. And there's 3 other businesses that are attached to that whole complex right in that area that are still all closed. The one where the fire occurred in was a smoke shop, and then 2 other ones that were just next door that sustained a lot of smoke damage. They're all still closed.
Wow, Officer Stacy Kiralanza, thank you for the update, and I'm sure we'll find out more as your investigation continues as what caused the fire.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Wow, that's a scary situation. Could you imagine being away, take a plane or being even days away and not knowing the status of your beloved
pet
furry friend?
Nope.
Yeah, because of something that's really scary.
Yeah, 100%.
But like we mentioned, glad that all the systems worked in place.
Yes.
Everybody was alerted in time, and no dogs were injured during that
that's the biggest
evacuation. So that's great. Cara, did you know the Prudential Center is the top 5 venue in the world? We'll tell you all about it next.
And later we visit with one of the most heartwarming fashion shows in New Jersey. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco along with Mike Favetta. Well, the Prudential Center has been announced as one of the top 5 venues in the world, according to Billboard's year-end gross ticket sales ranking. Here to tell us about it is Sean Seda, EVP of Entertainment. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
You bet, Sean. Our pleasure. So tell us, what goes into making the Prudential Center such a destination for all entertainers and athletes?
Well, first of all, we have just a tremendous market. New Jersey is a very strong market. It's one of the densest states in all of the United States, if not the most. And we have a great fan base here. And I think what we've been able to do is effectively here is carve out New Jersey as an incremental play to the whole New York DMA, which helps us with attracting diverse programming to our building, whether that's concerts, family shows, other sporting events. We were really able to show this market as a differentiator in the greater New York area.
And Sean, you mentioned New Jersey fans. What separates New Jersey fans from other fans?
I mean, I'm not from New Jersey originally. I'm from California, but I've been out here for 10 years now, and I've never seen a fan base like New Jersey. They bring it every single time. We often get very similar comments from artists that played other New York buildings and then make the play over to New Jersey as part of the tour routing. And they often say how amazing the fan base is here, that not only do they bring it, but it's very authentic. Our people are here is what I hear a lot. So we just have a tremendous fan base that loves live entertainment. And I think because of that, we sell a lot of tickets at the Prudential Center. And it allows us to get aggressive and bring in more content to the marketplace.
You know, it's nice to have a home base here in New Jersey, to have somewhere you can go locally without going across the river to a New York venue. So there's so much energy that the New Jersey fans have to give at those events. But you have an extremely diverse schedule of events. What goes into deciding what events you choose to program at the Prudential Center?
Well, look, I look at the market, when you look at the market as being as diverse as it has been or is, you want to bring as much content that the community can actually enjoy. And so we pride ourselves on being one of the most diverse programmed arenas in the United States, whether that's Latin music, and we did almost, I think we did 16 or 17 Latin shows last year, K-pop, obviously hip hop and R&B. We've grown our comedy business, our country music business over the last couple years. So we know that all these genres of music and events will sell in the marketplace. And then that's just on music. On the sports property side, we're doing college basketball here, sumo wrestling, you name it, we'll bring it. UFC is coming up here in the next few weeks. Again, we pride ourselves as being one of the most diverse program buildings in the United States. And I think that obviously shows with our number 5 ranking. And we've been consistently in the top 10 for quite some time. I think it takes people by surprise, but it's not a surprise to me. I know how great of a market we have and what a great building we have, and tremendous people I work with every single day that brings every event to life.
Great stuff. So what is on deck for the summer season at the Prue Center? What can we look forward to?
Well, the summer is actually really busy. And I think that's the biggest differentiator, compared to other arenas where, the summer business tends to go outside. We've been very busy during the summer. We expect to have a very busy summer this coming summer. And leading into the fall. And we have a lot of great announcements coming up. But the big ones I said, UFC is returning in the next couple weeks. We've got J-Lo coming through. We have, what I would say, just you have to go to our website, pruecenter.com, or check us out on our socials to get all the different programming that we have through here. Whether that's sports programming or concerts. There's just so much there that I wouldn't want to spend the time here talking about every single event that's coming through. But it's really tremendous, and we're excited.
So at Prue Center across Instagram and Facebook. Bill's Sean Seda, thank you so much for your time today.
You've got it. Thank you so much for having me.
It's very exciting. Lots of stuff going on there at Prue Center.
The Prue Center really, I do think, in people's minds, it's kind of like, it's that stadium in Newark. And it's like, no, it's this,
Hey, it attracted the VMAs a few years ago, right? That was a big deal.
Just last year, I think.
Mm-hmm. So I think really
they're on the map.
New Jersey on the map. Oh yeah, it's always been on the map. Now it's just it's more prominent across the country.
Yes.
And I have to say, when he said the Californians or those other people out west, do you really think a New Jersey fan compares to someone from a West Coast state? Come on, there is no comparison.
No way.
So
no way.
I'm glad to see that the artists at least take note.
Yeah.
How special the fans are here in New Jersey. Well, Cara, there's a new study from mentalhealthrehabs.com that reveals New Jersey is the second happiest state in the U.S. The study shows that only 14.6% of New Jerseyans reported having a form of depression. The study believes that this is partly because in New Jersey there is less stigma surrounding mental illness, and individuals may be likely to seek treatment for depression. Guess what state made the number 1 list? Hawaii.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
I think so.
Something about that tropical paradise thing.
Rainbows, rain showers, sunshine, warm beach weather. Yeah, it's no wonder my sister moved there. It's a pretty amazing place.
There you go. I am impressed though that we got that ranking. That is because you would. I feel like we're like we're a gritty people.
But now with the winters that are basically short 8 weeks, and we spring right into spring, we have these nice long summers now, and looking forward to the 80-degree warmth as soon as Monday.
I know. Yes. Yeah. I did see that on the forecast.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey. Up next, we're going to hit on one of your and my favorite things, the New Jersey Wine and Food Festival. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Well, the New Jersey Wine and Food Festival kicks off next month in May, and here to give us an inside look is founder Robbie Yunus. Robbie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Robbie, very excited about the festival. Can you tell us about this year's event?
Yes, so obviously we started this event in 2009, and during COVID we stopped it, and this is the first year since 2019. Amazing chef talent, continue with supporting the diversity in our talent in New Jersey and the restaurateur, which was always our main mission. And Chef Thomas Colicchio, or Tom Colicchio, is going to join us with many chefs from Top Chef, as well our talent from New Jersey.
Incredible stuff. So, Robbie, what inspired you to create this festival in the first place?
Oh boy. So going to Aspen, Pebble Beach, trying to see what's happening in other state. Came to New Jersey 2008, or to the resort 2008. And we always looked, how can we enhance our talent and chef and restaurant in New Jersey, which is everybody look at New York City only and not New Jersey. I was like, no. We here going to make a statement. And the first year wine festival is, let's bring the best winemaker and a lot of local talent and try to start pushing this message. And from there, we kept growing from 2009 till now.
And I think that's key. There are some really great wineries here in New Jersey and some great winemakers. So can you explain what are some key events happening this year? You had already mentioned some of the celebrity chefs. Anything else happening?
Yeah. So Friday, we have our wine cellar dinner, which is Tom Colicchio and the winery from Isla, used to be Arojo. It's very boutique California winery. Top Chef happening. Our chef, which is in our eyes is our star, Chef Ashling. Stephen with 4 other top chefs that we're having with 5 different winemaker. Saturday we switch to seminars and market lunch everywhere, outdoor, indoor. Then the grand tasting kick in, a VIP floor with many chefs and personnel that want less crowd. And then you have the whole resort closed for the grand tasting, where you have more than 100 winery and 50 plus chefs and restaurateurs from New York City, New Jersey, and other states around us that we invite them. And then after this, we go into the after party. We party here well. So this is a gift back to the winemaker, chef, and for other people to be with them. So this is a celebration of a culinary event, food and beverage in the after party. Sunday is your beautiful brunch and the departure from the resort with a lot of memories.
Incredible stuff. And you mentioned the resort that's hosting the festival, Crystal Springs. Why is that the ideal place for this festival?
Very well. We were one of the first players that started taking the culinary to another level with Restaurant Latour, where we brought gastronomy to New Jersey, where we, years ago, when we created 16 course into a vegetation or vegetable course, people did not understand we were getting. So we were always ahead of our ahead in our program. But then the biggest part is the wine cellar. Crystal Spring, shockingly enough, have one of the biggest wine cellar in the world, top 10, lead top 5 in the United States, square acre, 60,000 bottle, more than 6,000 label of wine. So the combination between Restaurant Latour, the Chef's Garden, the wine cellar, only 50 some minutes from Manhattan, it couldn't be a better location to do that. And of course, 4,000 acre surrounding us, which is the resort reside with 6 golf courses, beautiful hotels, perfect place.
And Robbie, tickets still available at your website?
Indeed. We sold 65% the first 48 hours we opened the tickets.
Wow.
And right now we keep adding an extra 100 tickets each time. So yes, tickets on sale is one of the best wine festival you will really attend to. It's something to be proud of.
May 3rd through 5th, njwinefoodfest.com. Robbie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Have a beautiful day, huh?
Thank you, you too.
You too.
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't away at a family wedding in New England, I'd be the first in line, Cara.
Well, don't you worry, Mikey, because I will be there covering it for us
Wonderful.
right here on the New Jersey Morning Show and on New Jersey. So we will have lots to show you and savor next week on our show from the Wine and Food Festival. I did go. I think I went back in 2017. I went to one of the early ones and covered it on my own show, and it's exceptional. I mean, to see the chefs, the wineries, just the whole span of it. It really is something to see. And Crystal Springs is a beautiful property. So if you haven't had a chance to go up there and check it out, yeah, definitely something worth looking into for sure, especially if you're a foodie like you and I.
All right, well, I'm sure tickets for the 2025 version will go on sale soon, so I'll be sure to book that. Well, the official superhero survey is out. Stay tuned to find out the age-old question that we answer: capes or no capes?
And after, we'll join Your New Jersey's Lisa Marie at a very special fashion show.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Cara Falco. The Tom Coughlin J. Fund Foundation, Tyler Robinson Foundation, and the Foundation for Cancer Research have formed a league of their own and joined forces to help settle the age-old debate that has plagued the superhero universe since the beginning of time: cape or no cape.
Ah, yes. According to the survey, almost 55% of pediatric cancer patient survivors and their siblings have declared that the no cape superhero reigns supreme.
So those who participated in the survey also revealed that Spider-Man is their favorite superhero, followed by Wonder Woman.
All right, that's what I like to see. Well, in celebration of these findings, the three foundations are declaring April 28th as No Cape Day, and they are inviting supporters, donors, and advocates to dress as their favorite capeless crusader in support of childhood cancer heroes worldwide. That's really cute.
You know, I had my superhero costume that I would like to wear to bed when I was a kid every night, but I was never allowed to wear the cape because my father was afraid I'd roll over and,
you would roll over and, yes, reasonable fear.
always the worst possible outcome and scenario. But
yes,
I'm glad to see that the capeless superheroes are finding their position here in New Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm happy to see that Wonder Woman is among the top as well. I think it was Superman for a really long time. So it's interesting to see that the kids have kind of switched. The Spider-Man movies have been so
Oh,
huge
yeah.
and done
Uh-huh.
so much.
I
And I
know.
think the cartoon one was really the one that brought it home for the young ones.
Well, if you've turned on Disney Plus recently, it's Marvel everything, so it might have something to do with it.
Might have something to do with it. I'm a big Marvel,
It
but
could work for
you know, Marvel or DC, some of them are caped, some of
Yeah.
them aren't. So, you know,
That's true. That's true.
makes sense.
So the Holy Name Hospital hosted a red carpet spring fashion show this weekend. The event benefits and raises money for their multiple sclerosis patients.
Hi, so I'm Dr. Marianne Pacone. I'm medical director at the MS Center here at Holy Name, and I'm so excited to be here today for our annual fashion show fundraiser. This is such a great event for patients, their family members. The patients are on the runway, and we really depend on events like this to be able to raise funds to support patient services. All the money goes directly for patient services and improving care, and it's just really such a wonderful event and so much fun.
It is very important, obviously, that without funds we can't do all the researchers help, and we want to do more and more. We want to go get the technology and then new medicines that we could try. So it's so important to have to support, and we appreciate everyone to be here.
Miss Bergen County, what brought you out here this morning? What brought me out here is this fashion show. It's all about those suffering from an autoimmune disease like myself, multiple sclerosis, and I'm more than happy to be here actually walking down this runway, thanks to my doctors and everyone at this facility supporting.
So you get your treatment at Holy Name?
Yes, at the MS Center, I get Tysabri infusions. It's phenomenal, exceptional. I actually look forward to my appointments. Even when I have to go see my doctor, Dr. Pacone, or see my nurses, they're all very friendly, and I believe they're very happy to see me because I was one of their worst patients that wasn't responding to medication until 2018, and I'm here now doing ballet. I never thought I would be, and walking the fashion show with my sister.
For the last almost a decade, I've been a patient here at MS Center, and I'm proudly being part of this MS Society, and I wanted to support it. This great idea for the gathering, and it's great that those events happen that can bring everybody together, society together, make the awareness of MS, and raise the funds to support it.
One of my favorite stories was a young lady who was in actually a Free People outfit, and she looked like a beachy bride. And I said, well, what shoes do you want to wear? And, with MS, it was very difficult for her to think about shoes. She said as much as she loved the outfit, that she wasn't going to be able to wear it because she couldn't put the heels on. So I said, why do you have to wear shoes? I said, if you were getting married on the beach, you would not wear shoes. Tears came to her eyes, and mine. That's how she walked the show. Yeah, barefoot. So it was great. And she said, you would allow me to do it? And I said, the show's not about me. It's about all of them.
Cara, what a great event. What a great event to show awareness of all of MS, of all of those things. Really, really nice to see. And I love how some of those patients really kind of jazzed up, their appearance. The one with the flowers on the walker to
I
kind
loved
of show like she owned it,
Absolutely. Absolutely. She looked great. They all looked great. Really, yeah, definitely a special event.
Again, love hearing those stories about that here in New Jersey. We have some more great news here in New Jersey because up next, it's Bring Your Kid to Work Day. We'll get to see if our kids think we have cool jobs.
Yeah, and then have you ever wondered what month is the most popular time to make a baby in New Jersey? Stay tuned for the answer. It's coming up next. back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco along with Mike Favetta, and a new study from AgeCalculator.com says November is the most popular conception month in New Jersey, with 9,532 kids born 9 months later in August. October, the second most common, followed by March. May is the rarest. I don't know, Mike. What thought? I was born in November, so I'm the exact opposite.
Yet I'm the April baby, so it's tough to say. It must vary seasonally, especially with New Jersey having the 4 seasons.
I was just going to say,
sense.
as the meteorologist, it's got to be a seasonal thing, right? November, it's kind of chilly. You're shutting your house.
Sure, you're staying inside more, snuggling with the warmer blankets more. I think, once you get to May, especially like we see later on next week, it gets hot. You want to get outside. It's daylight until 8:30 at night. So, yeah, I'm sure there's some seasonality to that, especially relating to climate in New Jersey. Now, I'm sure those statistics may vary in other states around the country.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'm pretty sure like Florida, California probably have some very different statistics than that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, kids across New Jersey are skipping school and heading to work with their parents for Take Your Child to Work Day. On New Jersey's Lisa Marie Falbo is at AZI Pharmaceuticals in Nutley to see how the kids are enjoying entering the workforce.
Thanks, Cara. Thanks, Mike. We're at the HHC Innovation Center here in Nutley, New Jersey at the AZI headquarters with some of the cutest Take Your Kid to Work Day participants. How you guys doing? Good. Are you having fun? Yes. Okay, well, I have my daughter here with me too. Hi, Liana. Hi. Are you having fun? Yeah. What's the coolest thing about Mommy's job?
A yard.
Okay, well, it's New Jersey, not New York, but that's okay. So let me come right up here. What is your name?
Eddie.
Eddie, and which parent of yours works here?
Jill. Much.
Jill, okay. And what does Mommy do?
She like sits in her office and works on like stuff that I'm not sure about.
Okay, that's okay. But does it look like fun?
Not really.
Oh, okay. You gotta love kids for their honesty, right? What is your favorite part about today?
I liked looking at all the places when we were going down to get a smoothie. I liked watching all the places around, like in the elevator, and looking at all the people and seeing what they do.
All right, well, that sounds like so much fun. Your brother is here shaking his head at you. Do you want to add something?
It's been fun, it's been fun looking around the whole entire building because it's really cool around here. And
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful building. Anybody else want to talk to the camera and be on TV? No, it's okay. But you're going to have a really good day. You're going to tour. You're going to go all the way up to the 15th floor. Liana, you're going to see New York, and it's going to be a really fun day. Thanks, guys, for participating today. Cara, Mike, back to you.
Kids really do say the darndest things.
Yes, I can see how when Mommy sits in her office and works on things that I don't know and
that I don't understand.
That could be.
I gotta be honest with you. My dad still sits in his office and works on things that I don't understand, and I'm almost 40 years old, so I get him. I understand where he's coming from for sure.
And hopefully, Liana can see the skyline today on this.
I am sure she will. I am sure those pink steps they were on were actually a highlight for a lot. I heard them discussing. I don't know if you noticed, the steps are lit in a pink light, and the kids were very excited about that. That was really fascinating for them.
And every kid loves an elevator ride to the 15th
An elevator,
floor, so
the cafeteria. I mean, these are the highlights. They're not wrong. These are the highlights.
A smoothie would sell me too. I'd be
100%.
there on day one. Well, you are watching the New Jersey Morning Show. Thank you for tuning in. There's more coming up after the break.